So it's no secret that Tabor has a pretty extensive range of weapons available. Of course, they don't have every single gun in the world, but it could get pretty damn close in the distant future maybe. So that's what I'm gonna do today. I'm gonna take a look at a little history. I'm bringing us back to the weaponry of World War II. We're gonna have a couple loadouts with some World War II weapons, a JPC because this is the closest thing I could find to actual infantry gear from back then, and technically it would be an A22, but nobody really wants to, you know, play with an A22. The classic infantry helmet, and yeah, I will see you guys in raid. So, for our very first build, we are being brought to Island. So we have in terms of like classes, if we wanna like speak in terms of classes, we have the quote unquote sniper class. Now, World War II was, if I'm not mistaken, fought during the times and stuff like the Mosin Nagant were very commonly used weapons in the times for snipers because it didn't come to a point yet where sniping was needed beyond the point of maybe like 100 yards. Hmm. So the Mosin is chambered in 7.62 by 54R, the same as a Dragunov. So technically a Dragunov would be an upgrade, but I do not believe that the Dragunov was manufactured during this period of time. So in reality, this is the type of weaponry snipers would be using. It would be used at a more so medium range than medium to long-ish range, not so much the now modern sniper range as just gonna be honest with you, I do not actually have that much. I do not have as much knowledge as you think I do about World War II. I pretty much what I did for this video was look up World War II guns and that's basically what I'm working with for the most part. Can't see. And also apparently can very much miss. So what are our impressions on a gun like the I'm pretty sure this is a Mosin again. I really hope that I'm not messing this up. Well, it's chambered in 7.62 by 54R. It was a really good weapon for its time. Because I mean, you gotta remember that this was World War II after all. It's very much we didn't during that period in time. They did not have the type of weaponry that we do nowadays. So obviously, there's gonna be a lot of kinks to work out and disadvantages. But for the period in time, you know, the amount of rounds that you could get out with a gun like this was surprisingly good. Good. Now, if you're thinking, why didn't I use why wouldn't I be using an M16? Unfortunately, the M16 was more of a more of a Vietnam War type weapon, so yeah, it didn't really see use until, well, the Vietnam War. So you know, it's not really available. It wasn't really available during World War II. This was the type of weaponry that was available in World War II, and you usually fight in trenches, but this game doesn't really offer any trench warfare gameplay. Honestly, you may want to consider like like some other game for that. Maybe like a map with a custom mode. I need to sit down. Like literally, I need to sit down. Because my aim is off. I need all the advantages. Well, can't say I didn't try. So I'm on seated mode again, and you know what would be pretty cool? Stripper clips. Ooh, I would love a Mauser, to be honest. I would love a Mauser C96 in game. Can you imagine? just beating the stripper clips and then just, you know, would be really cool, but alas, you know, it's a little bit hard to implement. So no fault there. No fault there for them not, if they can't. It's odd. That looked like that would have hit. Alright, let's move on from this embarrassing situation. Alright, finally got rid of the embarrassing situation, I suppose. So this would typically probably be more or less accurate to what a sniper infantryman would wear during the period of time of World War II. I have, of course, the other builds, but this is mainly gonna be the first one. We certainly didn't have VSS Venturas back in that time. Or more adventure backpacks. But that. A brass jar. Would you look at that? You think saving brass was like a important thing back in the day? Coffee would have been very would have been a very valuable commodity back. It's actually really funny. I was Cause the very last raid I just did was a raid I did on stream where I hello. This is the other thing. This could actually be the actual Mosin again. This could be like a spring field or something. I'm not sure. But in the last raid that I did, and you will probably see that before this, I tried to do this silo shotgun raid on stream, and then I pulled an MCX spear. I pulled a purple. I opened up purple, and then I killed Kurtek afterwards. So. Are you serious? I had him dead to rights. It's probably hurt. I don't know if I hit him. I don't think that hit him. Do I have any more bullets? Yes, I do. Okay. So if you excuse the fact that I'm not really a sniper, this gun would be one of the best this would probably be like a favorite hey, didn't Metal Gear Solid the remake recently came out? He didn't. The end uses a Springfield, doesn't he? Fitted to take tranquilizer darts. The end. You know, as he like blows up. Why do the people in Metal Gear Solid blow up when they die? It's an interesting question, no? Unfortunately for me, I'm much more comfortable sniping people when it's not awkward. And what I basically mean by that is the only time I'm actually comfortable with sniping is if you slap like a Smith sight on an MDR, because I'm just so used to the MDR at this rate that I can just perform better with that, and as opposed to this, I guess. But hey, you know what? At least I got a couple kills. I assure you, I'll be better at the next weapons. That's a definitive for sure. At the very least. Or maybe I'm just getting into the groove of it now. So honestly, to be honest, like I think 7.62 by 54 is a powerful round. Don't get me wrong. It's the Dragunov round. It's literally nothing else's round. I think nothing that comes to mind. I'm still fiending for them to eventually add a hunting pistol into the game, because I think it would be really cool to have that in game. Because, well, let's just say that ever since I got my hands on the one in The Last of Us 2, I have fallen quite a bit in love, and then it was reinforced by John Wick 4. Typically, rule of thumb with sniping, if I can remember correctly, is never try to hit a moving target. Watch their patterns. Try to get them. Try to get them when they're not moving. People literally wait like 3 days for a clear shot, you know. There was that one scene in that one movie where like they were so broken by war in general that when when the command to not attack was finally called, they were they just wanted to kill him, so wanted to kill the guy that they were looking at because they just got so incredibly obsessed with the guy that they were looking at. So, oh yeah, you can't open these, can't you? Oh wow. I will proceed to never do that again because that seems incredibly pointless. Alright. There wasn't really a lot of guerrilla warfare per se in World War II, I believe. To be honest, like I think I've kind of already made like a well, technically I haven't because that video, which I don't know if I'll ever upload it. It was just mainly about the M16, and then I would talk about my military experiences again. That was definitely a video, but I'm not sure if I'll upload that, number one, just because I barely even remember recording it. The second thing is that I think maybe I should just try to let my military past go. Because I mean, sure, I can reference it from time to time, but if it becomes the main point of my video, then I think then that's gonna be kind of a problem. Damn it. Clear shot too. He won't stop moving, which is the correct thing to do when fighting snipers. Because if you're like me, you don't have a weapon like the Dragunov, it's gonna be very hard to hit him at all. The people who used to use stuff like the Springfields and Mosin against were definitely built different. I can say that much. Craziest thing is I'm shooting with both eyes open, so you know, it's a shame that of all the things that I never did during my service, I never learned to shoot any of the actually cool guns aside from an M16, and even then it was, I believe, it was a variant of the M16. Which basically meant that it was an M16, but because they changed it, you know, to fit the average citizen in our country. So what do I think of this? Well, you know, as is with every single gun that we will be going over later, there are better options, but for its period, this was an amazing gun for its time. And to be honest, I mean, there's a reason why guns like the Mosin and whatever appear so much in media. It's because it's a powerful looking gun that commands the presence that commands the presence of the screen the moment it enters the battlefield. It's very commonly used back in the day. But of course, there are definitely other options out there. Say you don't wanna, say you don't like sniping, which is very understandable because as we've clearly established that I'm not too huge a fan of sniping either. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna bring y'all to another raid where we can show off another build, and yeah, I will see you all in that raid. Also, let's talk. Also, are we just gonna discuss that I pulled another spear in purple in this very match? No, okay. Nah, I just need a foul for that one video that I wanted to make. Hey, hey. So, we are back where we all started my first Tabor video, with the very, very classic gun that we all know and love. So the bar was used by the quote-unquote heavy classes, or in the case of World War II, it was basically like pretty much what the average infantry would use if they didn't want it to end up using any of the bolt action rifles that were available to them. So what's there to say about the BAR? It's chambered in a very, very unique round. Completely unique, in fact, because as it currently stands in Tabor, I am not under the impression that that the bar, that the bar or its round in which it's chambered in 30-06 or 30-06 if you're a madman, is used by really any other round in the game. It is a big bullet, and oh my god. Great, we can finally make that video that I was talking about like literally not 2 minutes ago. So back where we all started, the bar was used as a sort of heavy class. Now I'm not wearing anything that you would consider heavy in any sense of the word, but heavy is kind of generalized for them because back in the day you barely carry any form of armor in general. Well, this could probably mean one thing. I'm not excited to say it, but probably not. Yeah, bar was generally one of the weapons I would say still has legitimate uses in Tabor. Well, as a general rule of thumb, if it's powerful enough that it literally got nerfed, so that people don't have to deal with it right out the gate, it's probably a really powerful weapon. So in the case of the bar, at the very least, the history of the weapon in Tabor is that it was originally a very low-level gun because nobody really wanted to use use a gun like this after all. But afterwards, people started to open their eyes and realize, wait a minute, shit. The bar kind of slaps. So people started bringing it, and this gun would be powerful enough to take down like literally like the highest tier kits if it so wished back in the day. And to this day it still can, but the thing is that it was so problematic that it got to a point where the best thing that they could do, and they also did this for the FNFL actually, was to nerf its Spectre level, because that was the only way to properly balance the weapon without completely nerfing it to the ground, unfortunately. Oh, well, the heavens, the stars, and the angels above. We got another bar, ladies and gentlemen.
Я тебя забыл, паркам-то!
So is the bar, so based off what you've seen so far, is the bar still usable? I'm pretty sure I said this already, but very much so, yes, it is. Because it is in 30-06, it is a really powerful gun. The only problem is that it maybe doesn't have the most generous magazine size, but you can just overcome that by bringing more bar mags or bigger bigger armor to contain more pouches. ACP, huh? That could go. What do we have here? Glock. This is the future. You don't need that. Let's heal. Let's heal up our arm. Do you have any of you guys who watch me play Tabor long enough to remember that how you, before the healing overhaul system, where all you needed to do was just stick the NRS anywhere, and then you would heal yourself, and then the only actual healing items that were in the game before everything were only NRSs and bandages, and then you would more often than not get just bandages. So it came to a point where you were kind of forced to always craft your own NRSs. That's weird. Someone should be here. Guess not. So the downstairs of this place is more or less always worth checking out now, because from what I've heard, there's actually a static flare spawn down here, so it's definitely worth checking out at the very least. I don't exactly remember where it spawns per se, but I mean, if the internet says it exists, it probably exists, because these people play the game way more than I do at this rate, and that's a very bold statement to make, especially after all the crazy shit that I used to do back in the day. You know, like for example, literally running up the the electricity bill because I was playing the game for so much. Just got triple shield there. Honestly, the funniest thing that you could do is to bring 30-06 armor piercing. I feel like that would certainly be overkill, but if you are playing PvP, there's no such thing as overkill. You need to be able to kill everything and everyone as quickly as possible in any manner, shape, or form. And hey, worst comes to worst, you could always just interchange everything when you know you're fighting Phoenixes. I needed a bandage. Okay. So, big gun. I guess this would I don't really know that much about like World War II, if I'm being honest. History. Oh, I didn't take history class. I took geography class back in the day. Yes, because turns out it was an either or type of school. You didn't have to do both, just one, and then social studies, I guess. So if I had to guess what this would be used during, because I mean this would be used for more close quartery in your face combat. That, I mean, you know, you obviously would be doing in when fighting face-to-face enemies, I guess. I mean, it's almost the complete opposite if you think about it, because in the case of the Mosin, you want to be further away. In this case, you would preferably be up close and personal, or at the very least closer than you would be if you were to use the Mosin. The bar is a very personal weapon. I guess it was like the earliest versions of light machine guns in general. So this would technically be my predecessor before they started, you know, making like real heavy shit that would get them, that would result in me ending up having to carry stuff like the M240B for my army. It's an interesting concept to think about it. If you were born a couple years later and a couple years earlier and you would be drafted into the military, what would be the gun that you would be using for your instance? You know, because I'll explain this later when we use our final gun, but the gun that we are gonna be using later and the guns that particular designation uses is very, very different these days. But and actually it's pretty much in a different category of weapon entirely, because it's changed so much. But I would say, actually, to be honest, like, if you look beyond the fact that that I'm making a World War II loadout style of video, this has been an incredibly good back-to-back raid. Not a lot of people can say that they got an MCX spear on island and then back-to-back got wait, I need these USB chargers. Got a FN fell the very next. You know, it's not very common to be TBH with anger. All right, I'll see you in the next and the last raid. So for our very for our very last match, we have a little bit of a squad leader type deal. Cause back in the day, squad leaders used to carry SMGs with them actually, and one of the available SMGs back in the day was a Thompson submachine gun. We have 100 round drum max here just because we can, and yeah, so once again, I have absolutely no knowledge about World War II in general, but typically I know squad leaders would want to carry light because their job is not to shoot people, more so as it is to lead. So therefore, they would carry something more on the lighter side and more close quarter combat like SMGs. And I definitely think, and since the Thompson SMG was a rather common gun back in the day, it saw some pretty big notoriety. This is the gun that you see in all the gangster movies, them using it, holding it like this and firing, just because they think they're cool or something. And I guess it kind of works, I guess, if you're trying to, you know, do anything but hit your target. Kind of need more of those after after I blew all of them on the Mosin. Shouldn't, don't I? So, but aside from that, SMGs have always had a relatively interesting place in Tabor, because typically most people would generally opt for just an assault rifle in general, but it's not exactly like it's yeah, get some beach. Get some Kurtek. Say hello to my little friend. Alright. Well, I take it back. when you're firing a volume of however many rounds per second at close range, the SMGs do just fine. It's just like the revolver video all over again. We take them down, knock them hard, knock them fast, knock them up. I mean, what? Anyways, looks like this poor unfortunate soul is down for the count again. So, if you can hit your target, it does just fine. And we are full. Hey, hey. Let's pick another gun to take back. Well, okay, first off, I'm gonna need the Glock because I have a mission for it, but it looks like I can't carry it, so let's take the VSS, I guess. Well, this video has gone completely awry once again. You know, this just this casual video about, oh, you know, World War II loadouts, and then, Kurtek, MCX Spear, whatever. Now the only thing that could top it all off is if I were to get another MCX Spear, god damn. But that's obviously not gonna happen. We can't get too lucky, right? I'm gonna get banned from Tabor if because the gods are watching over me and they see this guy. You know, he is the guy. How can he be such of the guy? He must be cheating. Get him out of here. Aside from that, what is there to talk about? Well, it's chambered in 45 ACP, which is not a bad round, I guess you could call it. I mean, 2 World Wars and 45 ACP, right? So we got Uric Skull. Now the only thing that would actually top this off would be to actually get an MCX Spear. There's still a couple opportunities. We did get containers. That's a quest that I gotta do, so I'm gonna head down there. Oh my god! An MCX Spear! all the audio only listeners are sitting by in shock as they see that I'm a big fucking liar. Alright. Well, I think the main drawback of guns of SMGs is that they fire the rounds too fast. So if you fix the solution, if you fix it by literally giving your gun 100 rounds, problem solved, right?
Забил парханта.
I'll come back later. You know what? I don't mind. I'll take a hike, as they call it. 5%, huh? That skull's mine. Don't you dare touch it. Have I ever used a Tommy gun in any other VR media? Nothing comes to mind at the very least. So, hey. You know what? I think that's gonna be some very successful raids for us to end it off with. I didn't check a couple places, but to be honest, should we really be pushing our luck after that 5%? I don't think we need to. I think we've done fantastic enough as is to call it a great match. And hey, we still kept to the World War II theme. We took down motherfucking Kurtek with a Thompson SMG of all things. So the guys that say that they put 50 rounds into a guy and they don't die are just the biggest over exaggerators of our life. The vocal ones are always the minorities, I will say that. But yeah, I'll see you guys at the outro. Alright, and that's gonna be it for the video. I hope you guys enjoyed. Quite frankly, I had a lot of fun, and we did get some really great loot worth watching. And yeah, thank you all so much for watching once again, and I will see you all next time. Bye-bye. Oh.